Thanks for stopping by Pete's Garage. Now I'm going to start finishing the Cobra, and the first thing I'm going to finish is the dashboard. And the reason I want to do that is because before I take all the wiring out, I want to put all the gauges into the dashboard, create the wiring harness behind the dashboard, so when I take the wires apart in the car to finish it, I don't have to worry about trying to figure it all out again. So I'm going to make a wiring harness. So before I do that, the dashboard doesn't fit perfectly. On the left side and on the right side at the top there are these gaps, and I want to fill those gaps in so when I put the dashboard in it fits nice and neat. Now in order to do that, I'm going to be using some gel coat, and then I'm going to back it up and make it strong with fiberglass cloth and the fiberglass resin. In order to extend the dashboard on both sides, I have to make a mold. And when I extend fiberglass parts, I usually make molds out of used laminate like this Formica. It's just a piece of Formica, pretty cheap. I just have bunches of it left over, and I use it because it has a very nice surface. It provides a very smooth surface for the gel coat to sit against, and it's nice and strong, so it makes a really good mold. Not only that, it's easy to cut, and when you put the line on there, you want to cut it, you can really cut it with scissors. The first step in this process is to use a profile gauge to make the shape that I need to extend the dashboard to on both sides. With the profile gauge, I can transfer it to the Formica and cut it out. I cut about a ½ inch piece of Formica just so I can make the back part of the mold. It's really important to clean the part that you're going to extend. So I'm going to sand down the entire dashboard where the gel coat is going to match and where I want the fiberglass to stick on both the front and the back. You'll notice that I cut the lip off the edge so I have a flat area to extend the dashboard. And when I'm done, I clean the entire area thoroughly with lacquer thinner. Before I put the mold back on the dash, you have to spray a mold release on there so the fiberglass doesn't stick to the Formica. If you didn't spray a mold release on there, it'd be really sticky. You'd probably never get it off. I use something called Stoner. This is just simply a urethane mold release. You can buy it anywhere that sells casting resins. I bought this at Rockler, the woodworking store, because they do sell casting resins. This is pretty simple stuff. You just spray it on the mold, and after you have a good coating on there, you can just put the mold right on the part you're gonna try to extend. Now I can mix up the gel coat. Gel coat is mixed just like fiberglass resin, roughly 12 drops for every ounce of gel coat. After thoroughly mixing the gel coat, I can pour it into the mold on both sides, making sure it's at least 1/8 inch thick. All you really need is a paint stick to even it out and make sure it's filled in completely. Once the gel coat is cured, I can start to reinforce it with fiberglass matting and resin. I'm using a foam brush here, but you can use whatever you'd like, but you have to make sure you build it up in several layers to make sure that it's strong enough. If you do not put this on the back, the gel coat will simply crack because there's nothing in there to reinforce it. Now that it's all dry, this mold should pop right off of here. That's why you use the mold release. The mold release makes it easy for the mold to just pop off from the resin. Like that. There's the extension. Now all I have to do is trim this even. So this here, I'll fill in some of this parts later. Trim this even and sand it flat. Okay, now with both ends sanded, we can see how it fits. Now that worked out great. It's those little details that are important to me, making the dash fit nice and smooth along with the body. Once I put a piece of rubber trim on top of that so that it seals and it doesn't vibrate, it's going to look fantastic. Now I just have to decide what I'm going to do to coat it. What am I going to cover the dashboard with? Vinyl, maybe a wood laminate, hydro dip, and I'm not really sure. We'll see. Stick around and you'll find out. Thanks for stopping by Pete's Garage.